aboard!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Woodsman Wack-Off, the series that puts two woodsmen face to face to see which competitor can whack off their log the fastest. In today's episode, we have two saws that have yet to participate in our competition, the Poulan Pro 330 and the Husqvarna 257. The Poulan Pro 330 was first available, I believe, in 1996 and ran through to the end when Poulan closed its manufacturing outfit in Shreveport, Louisiana, sometime around the year 2007. Okay, so this just in. I had previously released this video under the idea that the Poulan chainsaws were no longer manufactured in the United States at all on any level. However, one of my subscribers informed me that he just retired from there. It's located in Nashville, Arkansas, which is a little bit weird if you ask me. But anyways, yeah, no longer are they made in Shreveport, Louisiana, and they're not made in Nashville, Tennessee, but they are made somewhere in between in a place called Nashville, Arkansas. I have no other details besides that, but it is a Husqvarna plant, and the lower level Husqvarna chainsaws, as well as all of the Poulan products, are made at that facility. I have no idea if they are made overseas in parts and shipped here and assembled in the United States or what, but more to come on that. For now, let's just go with the idea that this is a Poulan Pro 330, and hopefully we can get these muddy waters cleared up a little bit and learn more about what's going on in Nashville, Arkansas with the production of these Poulan products. It is an open port cylinder design with a 46.5mm bore and 32mm stroke, bringing it to a little over 54 cc's. A full metal case and a solid, reliable construction made this saw fall right in line with its European competition. But sadly, by this point, the Poulan name was too far gone. The Poulan name was ultimately purchased by Husqvarna, and they currently use it to sell cheap consumer saws, further tarnishing the brand. But hey, at least we still got the Poulan name around. The Husqvarna 257 had a short run from 1994 to 2001, and clearly would have been a direct competitor to the Poulan 330. It is also an open port cylinder with a 46mm bore and a longer 34mm stroke, bringing its displacement up to 56.5 cc's. Will Poulan's last-ditch effort be enough to fight off the larger displacement Husqvarna? Or will the 330 go down in shame, just like its company did 15 years ago? Let's find out. Our operators of the day are Soft Hand Steve, running the Poulan Pro, of course. He loves Poulan. That's his t-shirt right there. And Hot Rod in the flannel, the shade tree mechanic that thinks a muffler mod fixes everything. They're revving him up, ready to chow down on some timber. Here they go, both saws digging in nicely to that 14 by 14 log of red oak. Looks like possibly the Poulan has a little bit of a lead, but man, it's close. It is so close. But yeah, clearly the Poulan walks away with that one. Hot Rod's feeling it. He's having fun. Alright, here we go with the tug up. Both saws are being tugged as hard as the operators can actually tug them while keeping their RPMs up. And again, it is close. It is neck and neck, right, coming right down to the wire. Oh my goodness, who's going to finish this one? Oh, we got to rewind that, of course, and get a slow-mo finish to see the money shot. Which saw Jeez, that is a dead nuts tie, guys. Straight up tie, and Hot Rod is still feeling it. He's really having fun with this little Husqvarna. And now for the vice grip. This right here really tests the torque of the saw, because again, we're putting a lot of pressure on it as much as we can to still keep the RPMs up, and the Poulan walks away with the victory. So woohoo, whoop whoop, hooray America. Alright, so the champion of this here Wack-Off is definitely your Poulan Pro 330. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go to Bodie and see what he has to say about it. Alright, so I had released the video already. I just snatched it because somebody, one of my subscribers, posted a comment, hey, you should check your information, because I had said that the Poulan chainsaws were no longer made in the United States at all. And this guy was like, I just retired from there. And so they are still made there. They're in Nashville, Arkansas. I don't know anything more than that. I gave the guy my number and said, call me. I would love to know. I would love to know more about what's going on there, because the only thing that I can do, guys, is do an internet search and try and figure this stuff out. There's nobody that's out there doling out the information. Hell, if anything, I'm the only person doing it. I mean, Kinsey with Bayou Country Saws, Bayou Country Saws, he does some really good informational videos that gets the information out there. Who else has done? Kane's Custom Garage, Dan Kane. He does some informational videos. I've seen who's the other guy? He got a pretty new channel. Nothing But Chainsaws. I believe that's who you are. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But anyways, you did a McCulloch video as well. So there's just, I can't find the information out there, guys. So don't get mad if I get something wrong. And I'm not saying that the guy that mentioned that was wrong. Whenever you read statements, you can't read the intent of the statement. And so what he had said was just simply check your information. And, he probably just said it like that. Check your information. He didn't go, check your information. You know what I mean? He was just passing along the information, and that's the way it came out. And I very, very much appreciate it. And I hope he calls me, because, I want to learn all I can about this stuff so that I can make better videos for y'all. Because, it's so frustrating being into a hobby and not being able to find good information on that hobby. It's annoying. Anyways, so, yep. This is the new video, and with the little bit of corrected information in there, and we'll see how it goes. And if you know anything more about, heck, if you're like about this stuff, I mean really know about this stuff. Like, I pretty much only know what I read on the internet or see on videos, right? But if you're actually one of those guys that worked at these factories that can tell me why Poulan had to sell out, or what the main problem was, and you knew it, you worked on the floor, I want to hear from you, So, anyways, okay, that's enough. And here's with whatever the rest of the rambling, however that goes. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that Wack-Off. You guys, if you watch the channel at all, you know that I really like the Poulans, this specific series of Poulans. I call them the high tops. This is the, so there's a small block, and they ranged from, I think, 46 cc's, maybe even down to 44. They were rare, but definitely I have seen them about 46 cc's, and they range from there all the way up to 54 cc's. But that was a small block. And then they took that same design and they basically just made it a little bit bigger, and I call that the big block. The big blocks only came in two sizes, and they took over from the small blocks. They may have still continued to sell the small blocks until they ran out of them, which I think that's what they did. But they ended the small blocks shortly after they began producing the big blocks. The big blocks only came in 54 cc and 60 cc. So it started off as your 3450 Poulan and 3750 Poulan. I don't know which came first, or it's a little bit funky, but then Poulan Pro started producing them. The Poulan Pros, you really basically could just guarantee on two things, and that is they were going to be yellow and they were going to have a chain brake. And that was really that was the only differences between the Poulan versions and the Poulan Pro version. Well, I guess there was also where the impulse line goes in, but we're getting too deep. Who cares? There was also, like, they changed the top. There was these little small run of, there was the 3500 Poulan. There was the 365 Poulan Pro. Anyways, they were all the same saws. It was a dying company doing whatever they could to try and stay ahead and offer as many offerings as they could in order to hopefully go, well, I catch a customer that goes, well, I think that one's $20 cheaper. I'll go ahead and I'll get that. So like the ones with the square top, the larger ones with the square tops, those things had small block intakes and small block carburetors too. But aside from that, there wasn't any difference. So anyways, those are across the board with all kinds of kooky little spec changes and stuff, but they're all the same saw. And as you can see, it performs well. It performs very well. There's a lot of people that go, oh yeah, it's a pro saw. It's totally a pro saw. And I really like them a lot, but I don't think they're pro saws. These things, I don't know. It's hard to say. It is. It's really hard to say. It's the same thing as an Echo Timberwolf 590, and people going, that's a pro saw. Well, technically, no, it's not. That is their farm and ranch saw that is for consumers, and it's sold in big box stores. The pro saw is the 620 that comes with the aluminum bar, different port changes and port timing, and unlimited coil, or at least a higher coil limit. See what I'm saying? So were these Poulans actually professional saws? I don't think so. I think they were more hitting the serious consumer farm ranch crowd. But if you think so, that's cool. You have at it. I'm not going to argue it. I love those dang saws, and whatever. All glory be to the Poulan name. Woo. Anyways, but the 257, I had that saw for just a little bit. Did not like it. I did like that it was lightweight. I really liked that. But regardless of whether or not it had good revs, or I don't know, The point is, it always felt underpowered to me. Even though that Poulan Pro barely beat it, that Poulan Pro, as you noticed, didn't get bound up at all. I think maybe it had one little tiny moment there on that last cut. Whereas the 257, you guys didn't see it because why would you? I took it out. I had the vice grip whenever I'm torquing on it. It got to a point to where it just wasn't going to bite anymore. It was having a really difficult time getting through that. And I guess this is a good time to point out that, you know, a lot of you guys probably think, well, I cut 14-inch wood all the time. And I believe you. You know, 14 inch is not that big. But a 14-inch branch is completely different than a 14-inch square. I mean, they're both wood. There's some similarities there. But in order to get that 14-inch square log, or cant, whatever you want to call it, I'm cutting it out of the meat, the heartwood of a big old oak. All right? It is very hard all the way through. There is no pulpwood on the outside or anything. There's nothing soft. It's all just the good, solid, hard wood. And so these saws struggle to get through it. And this is very much a test. It's a test of these saws to see what they are capable of. And so I'm forcing them. You know, the saw wouldn't have that hard of a time if I just sat there and let it eat. It would probably be just fine. Well, you can see it did just fine on the gentle slide down the shaft. Right? It did just fine. But you start putting pressure on it. That 257, like, if that was my saw and I ran it, I mean, it was mine, but I mean, I'm saying that's the one that I kept as my firewood saw. There ain't no chance in hell that I would run anything bigger than an 18-inch bar. I would also probably outfit it with 325 chain. It is not a strong saw. And it was running good. I had some problems with the high jet, but I got that figured out, and it ran good. Started up, bam. I mean, it was a good running saw. Both of them are running an out-of-the-box Husqvarna X-Cut chain. You know, both of them are in red oak. And I will say this, the 330, the log that it is cutting through is harder than the log that the Husqvarna was cutting through. They were two separate logs, and, you know, these are living organisms until we kill them or they fall down. And, you know, some can be more dense than the others. So the point is if it was the exact same log, that 330 would have won by even more. So, yeah, the 330 is not a high rever, but it does have good, smooth torque, and it just chomps away and gets the job done. So anyways, that's enough for this video. I've rambled and rambled and rambled. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to any comments that I get. Please comment. I mean, I like it when you guys comment. So, I am getting a lot of comments, though, and I don't have time to answer them like I used to. But I do read every one of them. Every one of them. There's people, like, freaking trying to... They put in the comments, you know, spammers. I don't even get how that game works. Why do they do it? But, you know, in comments, it'll be in, like, Spanish or some other language, you know, and there's a link there that somehow has sex in it. Guarantee it's some sort of porn. It's like, this is a chainsaw forum, man. Or not forum, you know, channel. I'm like, that crap that I get, man. But as soon as I see that, I just report it as spam, block them, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, see ya.